Hi folks, welcome to the NFO review series. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Axis Quant Fund. First off, as always, what is this fund all about? The fund is going to use a fundamental approach and identify stocks using factors such as quality, value, and growth. And then it's going to apply a rule-based criteria to assign weights to these particular stocks, and based on that it's going to build up a portfolio. I had recently done a video on quant funds and you might just want to check it out to know more on the basics and the pros and the cons of quant funds. So when one looks at the investment philosophy, there is quality, which is basically looking at higher quality assets. They're looking at the growth parameter, and they're also looking at the valuation parameter as well. These parameters are further specified based on specific quantitative numbers. So for example, when you look at quality, of course, return on equity, the debt equity ratio, the volatility ratio. When you consider valuation, the price by equity, price by book value, dividend yield, price sales. And when you consider growth, of course, you're looking at earnings improvement, change in profit margins, and analyst forecasts as well. Now, the portfolio is constructed and it is reviewed and monitored on a regular basis. There is, of course, some cases where there will be some ad hoc rebalancing. And of course, they have said that they are going to also consider the liquidity of the stock when they're looking at the sort of allocation that they want to have in a particular stock. In summary, they are going to be, first of all, looking at stocks from the BSE 200 universe. Again, stocks are eliminated based on various criteria, like, for example, the quantitative factors, market cap, and liquidity. And then the stocks are evaluated and a scoring and a ranking is basically given. And a portfolio of 50 to 60 stocks will then be constructed. So this is how they basically are going to construct the fund. So should you invest? While the model on backtesting is actually showing that the fund has been able to beat the benchmark a majority of the times, but when I looked at the performance of quant funds across the industry, and there are only a handful of funds that are there, when I look at their past performance, the first point is that most of these funds are very recent. They have only like 2 or 3 year history. And again, they have not been really able to beat the benchmarks as well. Furthermore, the costs are a little on the higher side as compared to a passive fund. So you would think that if you have a quantitative strategy, the cost should be lower, but it's somewhere closer to actively managed funds. And if I look at existing funds in the space, they are around 1.25 to 1.75%. So I would say that the costs are also pretty high. Overseas as well, quant funds have not been able to beat their benchmarks. And I think one of the reasons is also that quantitative funds are set up based on past data. But a lot of past data is also based on what happened in the past environment. And the same may not be holding true anymore. Like, for example, in India now, we are seeing this very low interest rate environment, whereas for decades and decades, we have seen high interest rates. So essentially, sometimes there could be a case where quantitative funds rely on past data or past trends, and they may not hold true today. Or some of the trends also may not persist any longer. My take, I do not recommend investing into this fund because when you look at the parameters of quality, value, and growth that have been listed down, I would think that these are parameters that you would anyway use in an actively managed fund as well. And I would also think that you would be assigning weights within the actively managed fund also. Most of the times, the models, of course, are not disclosed to investors, but I really am not able to see how the fund is going to really be that much difference from an actively managed fund. And hence, I would not recommend investment into this fund. Make sure you click on the bell icon to subscribe. We do look forward to your feedback. Till then, bye-bye.